going on, everybody? This is Island Hopper TV, and today we're coming to you from Tulum, Mexico. We're going to show you the best things to do. Let's do it.
That's right, everybody. We're going to show you around this beautiful area of Riviera Maya known as Tulum. We've got 21 things for you to see and do here. Let's go ahead and get into it. First up is Tulum Beach. With powdery white sand and that Gatorade blue colored water, you will find it very swimmable here in Tulum Beach. They've got many different cabanas, restaurants, lounges, and so much more along the beachfront here, but there is no chain or corporate franchise hotels, so that's a great thing, right? Now let's talk about the beach clubs, because this is really something many people come here to do. They have Tantra, which is one of the most famous, Taboo, Cocoa Beach. There's so many different clubs here. Prices can vary and they can be very expensive in some cases. So do check availability, see if you can get the best price. Maybe on the low end, you can get it for around $50 to $60 per person. But on the high end, you could be looking well over $500 per person in some cases. The prices are much higher during peak season, and that's typically from November until April or even May. Next up is strolling along the Hotel Zone Road here. They're going to have many different cafes. It's an artistic experience where the jungle meets the beach, but this is the main road. You can either walk or ride a bike up and down the road. Now we're here at the Tulum Ruins. This is the archaeological site right along the waterfront here. Probably one of the most famous Mayan ruin sites in Riviera Maya just because of its location. And it's known for its astronomy that the Mayans were doing here because they have one of the world's oldest observatories. Now let's talk about getting around this area of Tulum. You can get a bike, which is probably the most efficient and affordable way to get around, although it is quite spread out. If you want to save your energy and you want to do some more long-range expeditions, you would probably need a motorized vehicle. That's going to either be a scooter, a motorcycle, an ATV, or maybe one of the side-by-sides. They have all those here. If you really wanted to explore more about the Mayan archaeological sites, I would recommend going out to Coba. Coba is going to be a bit more intricate than the Tulum archaeological site and not as touristic as Chichen Itza, but equally as impressive. Still many areas unexcavated here at Coba. Most people who go out to Coba typically do it as a part of a larger tour package where they go to Cenotes and do other activities like that. Now we're out here at Sian Kaan, and this is actually just north of Bacalar, south of Tulum. Very beautiful cenotes, kind of fresh water meets saltwater, brackish water. Beautiful area to explore and go around. It's a national park, so do consider this one if you're looking for more of a national park experience. You can do this on your own, but I would highly recommend going with a tour guide or a tour group, maybe even a private tour guide if you really wanted the best experience. Also, maybe even include Bacalar in that experience. Now we're headed to the Gran Cenote. This one's maybe 25 to 30 minutes away from Tulum, so it is close. It's probably one of the most accessible ones for you who's going to be visiting in the Tulum area. Now here we are in downtown Tulum. This is the other side of Tulum. So there's two main areas, the beach zone, which is where the hotels are along the beach and the beach clubs. And then you have downtown Tulum. Here you're going to have more restaurants and cafes, a lot more affordable for accommodation as well. But walking around here, you're going to find more authentic Mexico style than you would get along the beach zone, which is really more of a touristic area. It is important to note that a taxi ride from downtown Tulum to the Tulum beach zone is around $50 to $55 one way. For those of you who want to do some shopping, this is going to be one of the best places you can go along the hotel zone. You can support a local business or an artisan and find many different styles down here, whether it be clothing or local art. Now let's talk about the food down here in Tulum. Obviously tacos, that's very popular. They have ceviche, and then they have many different vegan style dishes that you can also get into. They do have a lot of healthy food restaurants, so don't worry about that, whether you're vegan, vegetarian, or just you want whatever kind of good Mexican food. Lots of variety here. I just wanted to point that out. For the most part in the tourist areas, the food you're going to notice is going to be more expensive than what you'll find across Mexico, so keep that in mind. And now here we are at Xcaret theme park. There are a few different theme parks in the area of Tulum, but this one here is really special, probably the best one. Ticket prices can be a bit steep, anywhere between $135 to $200. per person. It is a natural water park, really, so expect indigenous shows, water activities, cultural venues, and an underground river. As we continue to show you around Tulum, I want to let you know we just did a Playa del Carmen things to do videos, so check the link below and you can watch it there. Now here we are at Xel-Ha Water Park. This is a little bit more affordable than Xcaret, but it doesn't have as much cultural stuff going on here. It's mostly just a water park, lots of snorkeling, some slides. If I was to say which one's better, I would say Xcaret, but it's more expensive. But check it out, Xel-Ha might just be worth it if you wanted to save a little bit of money. And I want to let you know there are several of these different water parks, also theme parks where they have ATVs and zip lining like Explore. You'll notice they all start with X, and the X is pronounced like Esh, like an S, but Esh. So that's why you have all of these different theme parks around Tulum, but mostly Playa del Carmen. I would say these are about 45 minutes to an hour away from Tulum, but they're still very close. Now, when you're in Tulum, you may actually want to go up to Playa del Carmen, especially for an evening, because there's so much going on around the area of 5th Avenue. They call it Avenida. So they also have some shows down at the Mayan Portal area right along the beach in Playa. So definitely coming up here at some point when you're staying in Tulum, probably if you have a Colectivo pass or you're getting a rental car, it makes it easier to get up here, but taxis can be a bit expensive. Now, another thing to consider is going out to Cozumel Island. If you wake up early enough, you get the ferry maybe around 8 or 9:30, 11, and then you can go out to Cozumel, easily spend the whole day, come back at 9. They also have a ferry that leaves out of Xcaret, so you don't have to go all the way to Playa del Carmen to get the ferry. Another amazing island nearby is Isla Mujeres. They have tours that you can actually get the Colectivo or the tour bus. They'll drive you up to Cancun, and then you take the sailboat tour that goes out to Isla Mujeres. It's a very small island. Here we are now in Cancun, which is the original favorite destination for people in Riviera Maya. If you're going to go to Tulum for any more than 7 days, I would say consider also visiting Cancun for at least a day, checking out the beautiful white sand beaches here. And we also did a things to do for Cancun. You can watch that. I would suggest you watch all 3 of our Riviera Maya videos, the one from Tulum, Cancun, and Playa del Carmen. Very important if you plan to spend any amount of time over 2 weeks here. And if you guys want us to, we can make a full travel guide of Riviera Maya. Let us know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in watching. Now we're actually going to go back down to Tulum. This one's right there next to the hotel zone. This is Cenote, Encantado, Nuan. It is a cenote literally right there off the hotel zone. Another activity you'll do around here is going to be scuba diving, whether you go out to El Cielo in Cozumel or Isla Mujeres. Lots of scuba diving out here. Also, Isla Holbox. This one's a bit further away, but if you're going to come all the way down here for more than 2 weeks, Isla Holbox seems to be the #1 island, based on what other tourists were telling me. All right, now for some more information that's going to be useful for you when you visit Tulum. So they did just open a brand new airport. It took them like a year and a half to build it. Right now they only accept domestic flights, but they're about to open international flights. So that's going to save time and money for you, because as it stands right now, you have to arrive in Cancun and then drive all the way down here to Tulum. So good thing there. The population here is around 50,000 people. It is growing fast, but they get a lot more tourists every year than there are native inhabitants currently living here. Something I want you to know is there are 2 parts to Tulum. There's the Tulum downtown, which we showed you before, and then there's also the Tulum hotel zone along the beach. The hotel zone along the beach is what made Tulum famous. It's not the downtown area. So if you stay downtown, just keep in mind that's not the Tulum that's famous. That's just a place you may be staying. But again, the hotel zone right there along the water, that's really where the magic is happening. Now, Tulum is known for the archaeological sites, also the cenotes and the lush jungle. They do have some jungle retreats that may be interesting for you. I also really enjoy the beach, just being down here swimming, although sometimes they do get some of that seaweed sargassum, so keep that in mind when you're down here. If it is your first time to Tulum, I would suggest around 3 to 4 days. You don't want to overdo it when it comes to planning, but you also don't want to underdo it and only do 24 to 48 hours. So 3 to 4 days seems like the sweet spot. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this episode of Tulum. We did a Cancun and Playa del Carmen things to do video. Also, we have Belize coming up, so stay tuned for that. Thank you to all our new subscribers, and we will see you on the next one. Click and watch the Cancun tour here or Playa del Carmen next.